Hey guys, BrickWizard59 here, and welcome back to a brand new LEGO custom build review. And this is a look at my custom LEGO Republic Fighter Tank. Now, the Republic Fighter Tank was actually a set released earlier this year in 2017. It's set number 75182, and overall I did do a comparison of this set. While it's a pretty decent set, there are definitely some inaccuracies and problems I had with the build. So I decided to modify and actually make a custom version using mostly parts from the set as well as parts from my own collection, and this is basically what I've come up with. So in terms of size wise, while the set was quite small, I tried to keep it as close to that as possible, but overall this is about 2 studs longer in terms of length. It's probably a brick or so higher in terms of height from the very bottom to the top, and of course I did a few other modifications which we'll get into as we do a review of this build. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at the build. Alright, so let's start off just with a quick 360-degree spin of the model, and starting off here in the front, and of course you can kind of see one of the main things that I modified, and that is of course that these side sections here are actually at an angle compared to the rest of the build. While if you look in the set, these side sections here are kind of like connected to the main body and aren't at an angle, which is kind of inaccurate. So that's again one of the main things you can see here on the very side. Moving along here on the left side here, you can see I basically made the side sections a bit longer and kept parts of the original build intact, but also did modify it a bit, and I think it actually looks really nice. I used a lot of tiling just so not too many studs would show, just to give it a bit more of a sleek look. Here's a look at the back, and you can kind of see already one of the big modifications, and that's of course that the crate is no longer there. And I'll get into what is there in a bit when we look at the interior. And then finally we have the other side, which is exactly identical to the previous side. But anyways, now we're here back to the front of the build, and that's going to be where we're going to start off. Alright, so actually we'll go ahead and start off with the side of the build. Just look at these side panels here, and basically, again, taking a look at the set, because these side panels were kind of like interconnected to the rest of the build, I had to kind of take some creative liberties and just make my own version of it. And I think it looks pretty good. I extended the front section here by 2 studs, kind of integrated the stickered piece a bit more better than it usually would be. And overall, again, I used a lot of tiling just to give it a bit of a sleek look. And you are able to make this into like a straight position as well. So these are connected using hinges, so you can make the entire tank like completely straight as well. And again, it rolls still pretty well. And as we move it back to the side position, but here we have a look at the main body of the build. And I kept the front section pretty much how it is, except I continued this red section all the way to the back. You can kind of see the red stripe that goes all the way to the back. And I think that looks much better. In terms of the main body here, it's relatively similar. I just added some cheese slopes and kind of raised these parts, just so it looks a lot better. If you look in the original build, there's like random studs just showing everywhere, and I wasn't a fan of that. I kept the windows though, because the windows actually look pretty good. And I did of course add a nice blaster on the very top. That wasn't seen in the original in the set, but usually is included in these tanks. Moving along to the side of the build, again, the gun is another big part. Again, I just wasn't a fan of those like really bulky stud shooter type blasters, so I ended up making my own custom version of it, and I actually think it looks really good. And I also replaced the as we look back again, these like gray pieces right over, where is it, right there, those gray pieces that connect the gun to the body, I replaced it with these dishes, and I think it looks much better. Now, in terms of the hatch, and you can see here, the hatch is actually again replaced with another of these like red dishes, and I think it looks much better. We'll actually go ahead and just remove the minifigure here and kind of show you how that hatch was built. It's basically a skeleton hand connected to these modified plates, and you can close it like such. And I think it just looks much better and looks a lot like sleeker compared to the original build. I definitely like how that's turned out, and we can open it again and take a better look at the interior. So what you can see on the interior, it's exactly the same. You have your control panel, but the only thing is where that crate used to be, I instead added a couple of clips for blasters, and I think that's a much better use of that section, because in the actual set, the blasters were just seen stuck on the sides, which I thought was kind of weird, so I just ended up putting them in the very back, and I think that looks much better. Alright, but anyways, there you go. So there is a look at my custom LEGO Republic fighter tank. So definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Do you like this one over the new one? Do you prefer the old one, or the set version compared to this? I'd love to hear your thoughts about this down in the comments below. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. And do not forget to subscribe and check out my channel for some other awesome LEGO Star Wars, City, and Batman MOCs. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is BrickWizard59, and I'll see you all next time.